Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to my channel. My name is Joanna. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for participating in this unique transmission. And my hope is that you will find whatever you're looking for, especially if what you are looking for is higher level of awareness, higher level of understanding, and a greater understanding of yourself. That is ultimately what my passion is, what my goal is. And the intention of the unique beings that I am channeling. And there are many beings assisting us right now in order so that we could have this greater understanding of who we are. And ultimately, when we begin to remember who we are, we begin to realize our greatness. And when each and every human realizes their greatness, the potential of making quote unquote shit happen is enormous. Thank you for being here. I would love for you to share this video with someone if you feel they would like to feel more empowered. Click the notification button or subscribe if you want. It helps to spread this information out there. And at the end of the day, our intention is to help as many humans as possible to realize their power and their unique potential. And everyone has that within him or herself. Thank you for participating. For those of you who are coming back, thank you so much for being here. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, what I feel I do best, which is constantly practicing communicating with universal energies. And I do this, pretty much all the time. And by the way, so do you. You may just not necessarily be aware of the conversation you are having with the universe. Today I want to talk about expectations a little bit. And I want to give you a unique perspective of from higher consciousness about our own expectations. And each and every one of us has expectations. That's just part of what life is. We expect certain things to happen. And oftentimes, or sometimes, we expect things we don't want to happen. And I'm sure you have heard many times in the course of your life, during the course of your life, the phrase that says, be careful what you ask for, or be careful of your expectations. And that's because, generally speaking, what we expect, consciously or otherwise, we bring to our table, if you will. And the universe never fails. The universe always delivers. And for those of you who are trying to practice the law of attraction, and if you feel that it's not working, although it's impossible for law of attraction not to work because it is universal law, you may not have your expectations met. You may be saying, well, I'm expecting this, I was expecting this, and that's not what I got. Generally, when we don't experience what we are expecting is because A, we don't believe in the thing that we are expecting, or we are afraid of it. And both of those components come from a space of lack. So my job as Joanna is always to help you realize that you are not your lack. You may be experiencing lack of something, but that is more often than not based on your expectations, which is rooted in what our inner truth is. But I want to share with you something on a slightly lighter note today, how expectations work. A couple of days ago, or actually a week ago, I did an experiment with myself just to kind of prove to myself that yes, law of attraction works and the universe always delivers. And I have moments as Joanna that sometimes I have my doubts, and I'm sure you have your doubts too. So I said to the universe, okay, I'm giving you 48 hours to deliver to me a golden butterfly. That's it. And the stipulation of my experiment is this. I give the universe my intention, and then I stay out of it in terms of how I think it's supposed to show up. So I said, okay, universe, I want to bring to me a golden butterfly. It was supposed to be golden butterfly. So that was it. I let it go. And my job is now to, be aware, be open to experiencing, seeing a golden butterfly. Not to try to make things appear a certain way, but just be open and be conscious and aware, because these things can come literally out of nowhere, thin air. So 24 hours goes by, I go out running, being in nature. Surely I'm going to see a golden butterfly. Expectation, right? My human expectation. Nothing. Next day, I'm out and about. I'm thinking, okay, well, golden butterfly is going to appear to me on a postcard or something I see, or an advertisement, or something I read, or a song. Nothing. So the following morning, I'm downstairs in the kitchen making myself my morning drink. Okay, I'm supposed to say, for some of you, I don't know why, but every day I drink what's called golden milk, and that helps my digestion. I'm not sure why I'm supposed to give that to you, but here it is. If you want to know more information, certainly you can email me or just look up the idea of golden milk. Okay, that aside, thank you. That's for someone to help aid your digestion. Anyway, moving on. I'm making my morning golden milk, and I'm thinking to myself, God, it's been almost 48 hours and no golden butterfly. And part of the experiment was the idea that if within 48 hours the universe does not deliver what you asked for, then you have the right to say the law of attraction is bullshit. It doesn't work. Okay? Now, I know better, but almost 48 hours later, no golden butterfly. So I'm kind of bummed in my thinking, oh, okay, well, I guess the universe didn't deliver. So I go about and get ready. And something tells me to look on my phone in one of the apps that I have that basically reduces clutter in my photos. So my eyes are drawn to that app. I click on that application. And there's a whole bunch of things that need to be deleted. And I decide to click on one of those things, and there's a video. Okay, I'm thinking, okay, why am I drawn to this video? I press play. Within 5 seconds of the video, there's a freaking golden butterfly. I literally gasped. My mouth felt down to the floor. And I said to myself, oh shit, the universe delivered. And I was so dumbfounded that it took me a while to get my shit together, if you will. I shouldn't be surprised, right? I mean, I do this 24/7. Why would I be surprised? Well, I was surprised. It never fails. Whenever the universe delivers in these profound ways that are beyond my limited human expectations, I always gasp. I never get tired of it. I never get sick of it. It's never old. It's always like, my God, this shit works. And I don't know where the video came from. It wasn't a video I took. I think it was something someone said to me years ago, and I just didn't delete it. And all it was in a video was 15-second clip of a bush and a golden butterfly. And it was golden butterfly. I had to show it to a few people to say, look, is it golden? Yes, it's golden. So, what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is simply this: the universe always delivers. It may not deliver it in the way that you want. It may not deliver it in the timing that you want, although the experiment showed me that timing was part of the experiment and it was delivered. But when we get out of our own way by assuming things are supposed to come this way or that way or through this avenue or through this avenue, if we get that out of the way and just say, universe, I trust that you heard what I asked for, and I trust that you will deliver in a way that's most appropriate for me, and maybe even surprising, because that's the best. The universe never fails. So I would encourage you to do an experiment like that. Ask the universe to give you something within 48 hours, and you stay open to receiving it. Doesn't matter how it might show up. Okay? Now, I'm already hearing someone saying, well, I want $1 million. Well, maybe $1 million will come to you in 48 hours, but maybe rather than saying, I want $1 million, ask yourself, what does $1 million really mean to me? What does it represent? And likely what it means to you, first and foremost, $1 million represents abundance. Okay? So the universe may not show up with $1 million because that's a very specific thing, but the universe will deliver something that is abundant, that its form is abundance to you in some way, shape, or form. You may not get $1 million, but you may get another form of abundance that will make you feel, I am abundant. I just received abundance, and abundance doesn't just come with money. And just be open to how it shows up. Do this experiment, ask for something. Ask for the universe to be clear when it delivers the message to you. Because this will prove to you that the universe listens, not only that it listens, that it actually does what it's quote unquote designed to do, which is to deliver and take care of you. On the other hand, if you are expecting something negative, the universe delivers. So, I want you all to be really mindful of your expectations, especially your hidden expectations, the expectations you often don't see or think about. For example, if you have an unconscious expectation that somebody will cheat on you because that's been your experience, then this is what you are expecting. You don't want to expect it, obviously. You want to run in the other direction, but this is what you're expecting because you haven't let the other experience go yet. You're still in that energy. But without getting too deep in this video, because I love getting deep, as you know, for those of you who know me, shadows and all, it's just like, oh, let me get into it. And by the way, they're saying shadows are simply opportunities for experiencing something more. How? Because on the other side of the shadow is light, it's abundance, it's awareness. And when you have awareness, there's so much more that you can do. And I'm going to rephrase, it's not even so much more that you can do. Yes, it's so much more that you can attract to yourself, that you can magnetize to you. So today's pick a card is about expectations. What can you expect? And I specifically asked the universe for this information to be on a lighter note. In other words, we're not going to be tapping information that says, when can you expect to, let's say, trip and fall over? That's not my intention. That's, that's not the information I would like to channel today. So I am asking for the universal love to deliver messages in a more of a light-hearted way, because I said, okay, I said universal love, because this is what I am choosing to channel, universal love. They're asking me to, share with you why I chose specifically to consciously connect with universal love. Actually, I never thought of the reason why. It was just something that I wanted to do. But since they're asking me to ask myself this question, why did I make the conscious intention to channel universal love? Why did I do that? Why did Joanna choose universal love? Well, because to me, love stands also for greatness. And I guess by channeling universal love, what I'm channeling is greatness. And we are all part of this greatness. And greatness feels good. Greatness feels good. Greatness has its responsibilities, yes, but greatness feels good. When you are enormous, when you feel enormous, when you realize how enormous you are, how powerful you are, which is part of your greatness, that's an enormous responsibility. What's the saying? That to whom much is given, much is expected from. In other words, if you are in possession of great power, there is much expected from you. And guess what? We are all in possession of this power and this greatness. So remember, my job as Joanna is to almost initiate you to remembering your greatness, to initiate you to spark something inside of you that says, oh, wow, I am greatness. And a new identity begins to be born. All of a sudden, the things you think about yourself in terms of lack, all the worries and all of that, all of a sudden they become sort of kind of secondary because you realize your greatness. And since you're greatness, you can deal with whatever that is in some profound, amazing, positive, powerful ways. I just heard there's nothing you cannot change about your situation. In other words, there are many things we can change about situations. We may not be able to change the building that's standing in front of us, but we can change our perspective or our relationship to the building. And that's just an example. And greatness is your power. I want you to know that. I want you to hear that. Greatness is your power. Greatness is in your back pocket. In other words, greatness is yours, whether you believe it, whether you don't believe it. I hope you believe it. Whether you, I don't know, deny it. Greatness is yours. That's the beginning and the end of that conversation. You are greatness. Greatness is yours. Here's the question. Will you accept it? Number one. Number two. And what are you going to do with all this greatness? What are you going to do with all this greatness? What are you going to do with all this power that is inherently, undeniably within you? And why do I say undeniably? Well, because when you do this exercise and ask the universe for something and the universe delivers, what you are proving to say to yourself is that you are a powerful, powerful magnet to that which you intend. Did you realize that? Do you know that? Do you know that you are a powerful magnet to that which you intend? Now we have intentions consciously and unconsciously. So if you intend on experiencing someone who cheats on you, you're a powerful creator. On the other hand, if you do have some unfinished business in terms of your experiences that have somehow reduced your level of trust towards somebody or towards something, or for that matter, towards the idea of universe having your back, then we have to clear that, right? We have to clear that. And because today's session is all about expectations, I want you to become aware of the expectations that you have within your own beingness, those hidden expectations, and be more conscious of your expectations. If you are someone who expects to experience lack, again, you are a powerful creator. You are a powerful magnet to what you are expecting, which is your intention. Your expectation is your intention. I expect to experience a golden butterfly, and the universe says, no problem. Boom, there it is. And they kept me to the very, very last minute. It was like 48 hours, boom, there it is. I don't think I could even make that up. It was just so profound. So, the moral of the story is that I'm talking to you, are a massively powerful creator. You are a goddess, and God within yourself. You carry this potential within you, the God and Goddess. Now, if that scares you, if that somehow makes you go, ew, I cannot think of myself as God or Goddess, then we have to look at the reasons behind why. Well, if that's not your expectation of yourself, then what is your expectation of yourself? If you're not the goddess or God, what are you? Who are you? And the question always is, who do you choose to be? So if you are wanting to experience more goddess-like energy, you have to tap into this goddessness within you. You have to bring it out of your cells, out of your DNA, because it's wired within you. It's wired within you. There's all these pockets of information that are hidden in your unconscious being and in your DNA. And we are in a time where all these flickers are turning on, and all of a sudden the lights are coming on. We are literally remembering. I want you to remember, rephrase, I would love for you, and I wish for you to remember your godliness that resides within you. That is my desire, my wish, and my expectation for you. Now, it doesn't matter what I expect for you because it's unimportant. It's what you expect of you. It's what you expect for you. So from this point forward, I want you to be really mindful of your own expectations. If your expectation of you is, I am a failure, is this the expectation you want to have? Do you want to expect failure? Is that where you want to experience your life? Surely that's not the case. Although I would say that disappointments are not necessarily something bad because we can learn from disappointments. But I would prefer you didn't have to go through the ordeal of experiencing a disappointment if disappointment is something not what you wanted. So if there's a whole bunch of disappointments in your life you haven't dealt with, if people have disappointed you, if people have been critical of you, if people have somehow put you down, can you rise up from it? Can you realize that them, how do I say this? Projecting their thoughts onto you, they're speaking from their smallness, not from their bigness. And can you realize, can you see that because of their words, you have unconsciously reduced your own bigness because of them? And can you see from this higher perspective that regardless of what was said to you, regardless of how people have treated you, that you are not the experience itself, that you are so much more than the experience, and that you can grow from that experience and you can experience more of you? What is your expectation of you? What is your expectation of you? Do you expect you're going to fail, or do you expect you're going to be successful? Of course, why would you want to expect to fail? Although there's nothing wrong with failure. If you can learn from failure, it's all good. Be okay with who you are in the present moment. But also remember that in present moment, you can literally redefine your own self. You can, in this now moment, completely re-collaborate, reorient yourself in terms of who you think you are, what you believe yourself to be. You can change that profoundly in this moment now. How? By purely, first and foremost, realizing that you can. You can change your life in an instant by seeing yourself as more than the experiences that have thus defined you. And allow yourself to, having been part of the experience, learn from their experiences and moving on from those experiences into some other more expanded, more profound experiences. Is that what you want? Do you want to experience more profound experiences in your life? If the answer is yes, ask for it. Universe, I ask to experience profound experiences. The universe says, sure thing, watch out. And then be ready for these experiences. And some of these experiences may come knocking at your door, and there may be of the shocking nature. When you realize your bigness, when you realize your profoundness, it is absolutely shocking. It's shocking. It's shocking to realize who you really are. It's shocking to the nervous system. It's shocking to the ego. It's shocking to your entire identity when you realize your profoundness, your greatness, your immenseness, your godliness. When you realize that, and it's not just your head, but it's your experience, your inner world gets a little bit shattered. That's often when you start going through a process called ego death. When your entire identity begins to crumble because of this profound experience that you just had. Remember, if you're looking for profound experiences are profound, and therefore they have the potential to profoundly change you and change your life as a result. So, if you are wanting to experience more profound experiences, be prepared to experience change. Be prepared to experience change. I know someone who's going through a bit of a ego shattering right now, and that can bring out a lot of anxiety, unsureness. Who am I? What my belief system are? What am I doing here? I don't know if I'm coming or going. But at the same time, this particular person who's very dear to me is very aware that this is what they asked for. They've asked to experience their greatness. And in order for them to experience their greatness, their limiting systems have to be tapered down. They have to be taken down. They have to be loosened, if you will, so they don't have such a grip on that person. Your profound experiences will often redefine your entire life. Do they have to? They don't have to, but it's almost impossible for it not to. Okay? And my intention and my job, if you will, is to somehow initiate you to help you connect with that energy of greatness so that you can experience your profound greatness in your own body, not just in your mind, not just in a cognitive, logical way, but in your body, like in your body. Ultimately, what that means is I hope to initiate you. I don't know why they want me to use that word, but they would like me to be the vehicle that helps and initiate you to your own greatness, that acts as a door opening for you to walk through and experience this profound greatness that you are. And you can probably imagine I'm having a blast doing this as part of my job. So if I didn't say this before, if I did, I apologize. But one of the things that I asked, what does population need right now? What does humanity need right now? Universal love. What does humanity need right now? And what I got is that, humanity needs comfort. It needs to be comforted. It needs to feel comforted. And obviously when we are comfortable, we are not uncomfortable. It's the opposite of discomfort. Comfort is the opposite of discomfort. And if we're going through a lot of discomfort, which the whole planet is going through a lot of discomfort right now, and these are growing pains, amidst this discomfort, it's nice to be comforted. It's nice to know that, hey, despite of what's going on, despite of what you're seeing out in the world, just know that the universe supports you, that that you are okay. You may not feel okay in the moment, but just know that you are okay. It's like, imagine being sick, as an example, and someone is there putting a blanket on you and rubbing your back and rubbing maybe your head, or, caressing your head, and just, sitting behind you and rubbing your shoulder and saying, hey, I know you're going through this experience and I know it doesn't feel good, but I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. You're not alone in this. And that to me is comfort. Knowing that when I'm going through something potentially uncomfortable or difficult or challenging, that I'm being comforted by the universe saying, we know it may not feel good. In fact, we know it doesn't feel good. It's not what you want, but it's what you need from a higher perspective. And we humans are comfort creatures. We like to be comfortable. Nothing wrong with comfort, right? But certain comforts can also keep us stuck. If we are too comfortable, for example, then we can often feel stuck. We don't want to get out of our comfort zone. And if we don't want to get out of our comfort zone, or if we are not willing to get out of our comfort zone, then we can't grow. So naturally, we are going through a growth period. And it's comforting to know that we are not alone in this. So I'm going to go through 3 piles, each one representing what you can expect in a positive way, and see what messages we get with each pile. To receive your notification of when the Pick a Pile video is uploaded, please click the notification bell. Thank you, and see you in the next video.